There is a moment in every life that changes everything, not because something outside shifts, but because something inside finally clicks. When you look closely at the people who truly transform their lives, the ones who rise out of confusion, chaos, and wasted years to build something real and meaningful, you'll notice one undeniable pattern. They stop scattering their energy. They stop chasing everything. They stop living divided. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not privilege. It's a decision to gather everything they have, their time, their focus, their effort, their identity, and aim it at one mission. And the moment they do that, everything begins to change. Because focus isn't just about paying attention. Focus is alignment. Focus is identity. Focus is deciding who you are no longer willing to be. When you choose one goal, you are not limiting your potential. You are unlocking it. You are activating parts of yourself that never come alive when your energy is scattered. Most people don't lose because they are weak. They lose because they are divided. They try to carry 5 dreams on one set of shoulders and then wonder why they collapse halfway through the year. You cannot win a marathon if you keep switching lanes. You cannot master anything if you reset every month, every new plan, every new idea. Every "maybe I should try this instead" quietly drains your confidence, your clarity, and your belief in yourself. And the hardest part, we live in a world that rewards distraction. Every app fighting for your attention. Every trend promising a shortcut. Every voice telling you this new thing is the answer. So you chase everything and capture nothing. Hear me clearly. 2026 will not belong to the busiest person. It will belong to the focused one. The one who decides that one goal is worth more than 100 half-finished dreams. Because the second you commit to one mission, something powerful happens. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop bouncing between options. You stop running back to comfort. You tell your brain, this is where we're going. Everything else is noise. That clarity is not small. It's psychological. It's emotional. It's an identity shift. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. Here's the truth most people never hear. Your brain was not designed to chase 15 goals. It was designed to go deep, to build mastery, to create momentum through repetition. When you choose one goal for 2026, you're not just simplifying your schedule, you're unlocking your biology. You're removing the mental friction that keeps you stuck. You're giving your mind permission to fully engage, fully commit, fully accelerate. Think about it like this: a laser is just light, but focused, same energy, different impact. You have the same hours, the same days, the same year as everyone else. The difference is whether your energy is spread thin or sharpened. If you keep dividing yourself across 10 projects, you'll stay exhausted, frustrated, and unfulfilled. But if you pour everything into one mission, you create something rare: momentum, the kind that compounds, the kind that builds confidence, the kind that turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. And this is only the beginning. If you slow down long enough to really examine your life, you'll notice something uncomfortable, something most people avoid facing. What's holding you back isn't failure. It isn't lack of ability. And it isn't that you're incapable of winning. What's truly slowing you down is distraction, the silent kind, the dangerous kind, the kind that doesn't feel like a problem until years have passed and nothing has changed. And I'm not talking about surface level distractions like social media or entertainment. Those are symptoms, not the disease. I'm talking about deeper distractions, the ones that disguise themselves as opportunity, the ones that feel productive, the ones that make you feel busy while quietly draining your potential. Some of you are busy every single day and still going nowhere. You're overwhelmed but not effective, exhausted but not fulfilled. You wake up tired, go to sleep tired, and still feel like you didn't move the needle on your life. And the reason is simple. You're trying to build a future while entertaining every idea, every suggestion, every impulse that crosses your mind. You start the day with a plan. By noon, you've abandoned it, not because it was wrong, but because something else looked easier, newer, or more exciting. Your mind has 10 tabs open, and you keep jumping between them, thinking you're multitasking your way to success. But in reality, you're dividing your strength until nothing has enough power to break through. That's the real cost of distraction. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's subtle. It wears you down slowly. It steals your focus one decision at a time. And the reason it's so dangerous is because you don't feel the damage immediately. You only feel it months later, when you look back and realize you've been moving but not progressing, working but not building, running but not advancing. You cannot win 2026 if you keep giving your energy to everything that asks for it. You have to guard your focus like a warrior guards their territory. Every extra commitment has a cost. Every unnecessary goal comes with a price. Every "maybe I should try this too" steals momentum from the thing that actually matters. People say, "I don't know why I can't stay consistent." But consistency isn't the real problem. Competition is. Your goals are competing with each other. Your priorities are fighting for your time. Your desires are pulling you in opposite directions. You're not inconsistent because you're weak. You're inconsistent because you're overloaded. You're trying to climb 3 mountains at once and sliding down all of them. When you eliminate distraction, you eliminate internal conflict. You take back the mental bandwidth that's been hijacked by noise. You stop living reactively. You stop letting people pull you into their agendas. You stop letting fear push you into backup plans. And suddenly, your path becomes clear, not easy, but simple. And simplicity is power. There's a psychological truth behind all of this. Your brain can only deeply pursue one major objective at a time. Every time you switch goals, your brain has to reset, reload, and recalibrate. That process drains energy. It steals time. And when you constantly switch plans, strategies, and directions, you interrupt your own growth cycle. You never stay with one thing long enough for mastery to begin. And mastery is where breakthroughs lie. But distraction feels safe. It feels flexible. It gives you the illusion that you're keeping options open. In reality, you're avoiding commitment. You're avoiding the pressure of choosing one thing and being held accountable for it. You're avoiding the emotional weight of betting on yourself. Distraction becomes a shield. It protects you from failure, but also from success, so you have to make a decision. Do you want potential, or do you want results? Potential will pull you in 100 directions. Results demand sacrifice. Results demand focus. Results demand saying no to good things so you can say yes to the right thing. If you can learn to remove the unnecessary, if you can train yourself to ignore the noise, if you can stop chasing everything that looks good and commit to the work that actually builds, you will change the entire direction of your life in 2026. Not because you worked harder, but because you worked clearer. Distraction is the enemy of destiny. Protect your attention, protect your time, protect your future. Because once you finally choose one mission that matters, everything begins to align. Once you choose that one goal, the one that truly matters, hope is no longer enough. Motivation is no longer enough. Wishing is no longer enough. Life does not reward intention. Life rewards structure. Life rewards execution. Life rewards the people who turn decisions into daily action. This is where most people fall apart. They think big goals require big dramatic moves. They believe transformation has to look explosive, inspiring, cinematic. But the truth is far more grounded. Real breakthroughs are built through small, repeatable actions executed consistently over time. That's how dominance is formed. That's how progress becomes inevitable. If you are serious about winning 2026, you need a master plan. Not a complicated one, not a perfect one, not one that looks impressive when you talk about it. You need a plan that is simple enough to follow, strong enough to hold you accountable, and clear enough to remove hesitation. Because when your actions are clear, excuses have nowhere to hide. Take that one goal and break it down into 3 priorities. Not 10, not 8, 3. 3 pillars that absolutely must happen if that goal is going to come alive. This is where discipline becomes possible, because you're no longer fighting your entire life at once. You're targeting what actually moves the needle. When your mind understands the mission, it stops resisting the process. Then those priorities must become daily non-negotiable habits. Not when I feel like it, not when I'm motivated. Non-negotiable. Habits you execute the same way you breathe, without discussion, without debate. You do them because they define who you are. You do them because your future depends on them. Discipline stops being something you try to have and becomes something you live. When habits are tied to purpose, they stop feeling like chores. They become identity. And then comes the part most people avoid: tracking. Not to shame yourself, not to judge yourself, not to punish yourself. Tracking is feedback. Every week you ask yourself one honest question: did I honor the commitment I made to myself? If the answer is yes, confidence grows. If the answer is no, you don't quit. You adjust, you refine, you recalibrate. That's growth, not perfection, correction. This is where discipline separates from motivation. Motivation waits. Discipline moves. Motivation needs the right mood. Discipline shows up anyway. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. Life doesn't reward people who wait for ideal conditions. Life rewards people who act tired, uncertain, uncomfortable, but aligned. Something powerful happens when you commit to a system. The system starts working on you. You become more aware, more focused, more resilient. You start recognizing your own patterns. You notice when your mind tries to negotiate with you, and you shut it down before it gains control. That kind of internal strength doesn't come from hype. It comes from repetition. It comes from structure. It comes from doing the work when no one is watching. Here's the truth most people ignore. Your habits are the architecture of your future. You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You rise to the level of your routines. You don't become disciplined by wanting discipline. You become disciplined by practicing it. And you don't achieve your one goal by dreaming about it. You achieve it by building a system that makes progress unavoidable. At the end of the day, your plan isn't about controlling every moment. It's about creating a rhythm your future can rely on, one that carries you forward when emotions shift, when life gets chaotic, when distractions try to pull you back. You don't need to win the whole year today. You only need to win today, and then win again tomorrow, and again the next day. 12 months of that kind of focus can rebuild an entire life. This is how breakthroughs happen, not all at once, but all the time. Now it comes down to this moment, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, this moment, because everything you've heard, everything you understand, everything you say you want means nothing without a decision, and not a soft decision, a final one. You don't win 2026 by hoping it turns out better. You don't win by talking about change. You win by showing up every single day, whether you feel like it or not, whether it's comfortable or not, whether anyone is watching or not. Motivation will fail you. Feelings will betray you. Life will test you. Discipline will carry you through all of it. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats inspiration. Consistency beats excuses. Most people lose not because they aren't capable, but because they stop showing up. They negotiate with themselves. They delay. They wait for permission. They wait for confidence. But confidence is built through action, not before it. The person who dominates understands one thing: showing up matters more than being perfect. You don't need to do extraordinary things every day. You need to do the ordinary things relentlessly, the fundamentals, the boring work, the work no one claps for. Because that's where mastery is built. That's where momentum is created. That's where results become unavoidable. The world is full of talented people. The world is full of smart people. The world is full of people with ideas. But the world is not full of people who are willing to endure the process. That's why the disciplined rise. That's why the consistent separate themselves. That's why the focused eventually stand alone. Every day you show up for your goal. You strengthen something inside you. You build trust with yourself. And that trust becomes unshakable. When setbacks hit, you don't fold. When distractions appear, you don't drift. When doubt whispers, you don't listen, because your actions have already proven who you are. And here's the truth you need to hear. No one is coming to save you. No one is responsible for your focus. No one is responsible for your discipline. No one is responsible for your future. That responsibility belongs to you. If you want 2026 to be different, you have to be different. You have to stop negotiating with your potential. Stop protecting your comfort. Stop delaying the work that builds the life you say you want. Choose one goal. Protect it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Build your habits around it. Show up for it every day without compromise, because discipline is freedom, focus is power, consistency is dominance. And when you commit fully, when you stop chasing everything and start executing one mission with precision, 2026 won't just be another year. It will be the year everything changed. Now decide, not later, not someday, now. Show up, execute, win. Thank you for being with Inner Strength. If this unified story has touched your ambition, your purpose, or your American dream, stay connected with us. Don't let motivation end with a period. Let it continue with action. Subscribe to Inner Strength. Press the like button to support more powerful content, and share this message with someone across the USA who needs to hear it today. Inner Strength is here every day to remind you: stay hungry, stay strong, and never stay down.